Hello! These videos are increasingly popular on YouTube, and it's the collection top X of Y kind of things. If you're into handkerchiefs or pens, whatever you're into, people say, these are my favorite. And I decide I'll give it a shot too. So the other common thing is that people can't decide, I can't possibly narrow it down to X, and they end up bloating it. So my cheat is Victorinox. Whenever I get a new something garment or bag or anything, it usually means it gets a new Victorinox that will live in that item. So that's my cheat. I always have a Victorinox because, yeah, cutting stuff, scissors, can openers, screwdrivers, it's just a nice thing to have. Some people, the trend now is going more towards like the Leatherman multi-tools, but I still just prefer having a good soldier on me. Going into like the core knives that I have left on the table, these are not my current rotation. These are the knives that I find enter rotation more often than any other knife that I have. So for 2019 Q1, this is the core 5 that kind of find their way into my pockets a lot. First up is the Spyderco Subvert. So again, it's not in order of favorites, it's just what it is. And the Spyderco Subvert, I love this knife. So this is my knife. It's new to me, and it's one of the first knives I reviewed for my little YouTube hobby channel thing. And this knife is just, for me, it fits my hand. It's very comfortable. It's not only comfortable, it functions very well, and it carries well for me too. So I just like this knife. It's what I like as well is the G10, the full titanium knives. You get snail trails, and I worry about that sometimes. Like I still am a collector, and I don't want to put too many miles on my knife unnecessarily, and I just like the G10 wears nicely, it carries well, easy in and out of the pocket, and I just love this knife. Next up, for the colder seasons, I do like my Spyderco Military. This one is the Fluted titanium out of the Colorado shop, so it's not aftermarket scales. The knife actually came like this. This is the CPM S30V blade on here, and for me, I do like the oversized controls, especially when you need to have gloves on. The oversized spider hole and the access to the lock bar is just, if you're wearing gloves, the military family works very well, and they're pretty thin knives. They do carry pretty well, so I do find that especially in the winter months, this guy does get a lot of carry. It's brutally cold, and that's why I say when I'm wearing gloves, I like this knife. Without gloves in winter, this guy is very painful to hold. It's too cold. Next up, a popular knife in the knife collecting community is the Grismo Norseman. So this is my Norseman. It is a bronze reverse honeycomb with blue accents, and the thing that makes this mine is that it is my birth year. I got very lucky and got my birth year serial number. So how that happens is the Grismo, they just keep cranking out knives, and the way you get a knife is you sign up for the knife maker lottery, where they will email out for each knife that they have for sale. They email one person on the list at random, and you have the opportunity to purchase the knife. If you are interested in Grismo knives or anything else that they make that is through the maker's choice, check Blade forums or the Facebook groups. Don't pay for codes. Just go online, go to the groups, and you can usually just cherry pick your perfect combo. It might take like 2 or 3 weeks to wait for your combo to come up, but for me, it wasn't so much the combo that I got, but it was the serial number, because this is a one-off, will never happen again knife, and I'm very proud to own it. The other reason why I'm proud to own it is, as I am a Canadian, this knife is 100% manufactured in Canada. Everything, the screws, the pivot, everything, the studs, everything is manufactured, even the bearing track and everything. It's all made in-house, and it's just fantastic. It is a very pricey knife, but it's kind of like, why buy something nice if you're not going to use it, right? So this guy does get carried, does get used, doesn't get abused, but he does get used. So Grismo Norseman, just because I paid a lot for it, I make sure I actually do carry and use this knife. Last two knives up are more of a gentleman carry when I feel classy, and I used to be all into the small knives. Recently, as you can see, I've been trending towards larger knives, but I do like a good slip joint. My current slip joint that I like quite a bit is, this is a Lionsteel CK01 Dom with the ebony handle. So This guy is just the modern take on the traditional slip joint. It has titanium bolsters, liners, spring bar. It's all titanium. It has a M390 blade stock, and even modern considerations, like the old knives were very well made on the internal geometry, so you wouldn't have rock on this guy. This guy has good geometry, but it also has a stop pin, and it has a little nub so you don't get blade rock. You can just be as ignorant as you want. You just squeeze the knife and you just won't chip it out. And it is just good old Lionsteel quality. So I do like this knife, and it does get some pocket time, and it's just a fun knife. Last up is, I mentioned this guy a lot, and this is probably my favorite knife. This is the Spyderco Hungarian. This is my first multi-$100 big boy knife. I did have a Benchmade Griptilian, which was pretty expensive, but in terms of like the rarity and awesome knives, I just love my Spyderco Hungarian. Why I love this knife is the really tall full flat grind, the blade shape, the geometry. This guy slices extremely well, and for my hands, the really thin, the ergonomics on the grip, it just fits me very well. And Spyderco does have a tendency to, not the lanyard hole thing that I was complaining about recently, but the spider humps. They take very nice knives and they just hump everything, and it kind of ruins the aesthetics on some knives, but I feel that this was a very nice update for a very traditional knife. The Hungarian Bichka is usually a slip joint knife. They put a nice liner lock on there. Even the spider hump to give the quick deploy, they turned it into something functional. We have a really nice thumb ramp on here and get a lot of power behind the heel of the knife, and you get a lot of control when you're working with the heel just from the way that they designed this guy. So I find that I have two of these guys. I'm considering getting a third one for modding, and I just absolutely love this knife. So Spyderco Hungarian is pretty much always in rotation. The other ones, they swim in and out, but this guy is always in rotation as long as I've had it. So that's it for my top 5. If you liked it, let me know. If you didn't, let me know so I can just cancel doing the series. And have a good day.